Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nikma Nurina Miroh, so you can call me Nikma. I am from TBID. Here, I wanna explain about the impossible dream. What is impossible dream? Yeah, impossible dream is a film that tell us about equality gender. Nah, what is equality gender? Maybe you all ever heard because nowadays much people talk about that in social media or some influencer or some artists that of course say about equality gender. Nah, equality gender is equal rights and responsibilities and opportunities of women and men, boys and girls. Nah, equality does not mean that women and men will the same, but the men's and women's right. So, responsibility and opportunities will not depend on whether they are born female or male. Nah, gender equality implies that the interests, needs, and priorities of both. So then, women and men are taken into consideration, recognizing the diversity of different groups of women and men. So, the definition of gender is the nature and behavior attached that's constructed by society. It means this is the nature and behavior that's constructed by society, not from herself. So what the relation between equality gender and this film? Yeah, before I explain about equality gender, before I enter the tema, maybe I have to explain the story from that film. Okay, the story is that there are a husband and wife, and then they have three children. So this is the wife. The wife or his mother does all the housework from getting up from bed until sleeping again. All the affairs do that are in mother house who do. It is like making the breakfast to all the family, and then taking care of the children, then washing clothes, taking care of her husband, and then they taking care about the school of their children. The wife also work in the tailor shop. It means this is also the wife is a woman career woman. So this is all done. What about the father? The father is work in the control of some heavy equipment machine, and then I think that the work can be casually. So after the father do all her job, do all his job. The father is come back to home, and then just relax. So what about the children? The first children is girl. The first children is girl that is um, helping the mother to do all the housework, and then they and then um, she is going to school, and then the son is the going to school, and then after going to school he is come back to home and then relaxing like the father. So what about the third children? The third children is uh, the third children is still 2 years old. Therefore, they must. Therefore, the third children mm, is must taking taking of taking care by the mother. So here I found five gender inequality. The first is subordination. What is subordination? A person has the right to equal opportunities in politics, economy, social, education, position, and career, prioritizing the submission of position to a man over a woman who also has the same capability. Is one example of injustice. Not only secondary, the view of superiority towards men for a certain position must be changed. The ability of intelligence to work is not determined by gender, but is determined by its capacity and ability to assume responsibility. So then, second is stereotype. Many stigmas or labor are attached to women because of social construction in society. A woman must work in the domestic sphere, while men in the public sector. Boys who cry easily are seen as weak or whiny rather than a natural expression of emotion. Girls naturally cry easily and should always be given tenderness and privilege. Yet such a view is wrong because it generalizes one particular trait to everyone. The views or labels that have been given so far must be changed and require maturity for good gender order in society. So the third is violence. Someone who is treated rudely is not considered a subject but an object that is natural to be used as an outlet. There have been many recorded cases that women are often as object of violence by irresponsible men. This action occurs because there is still an assumption of power and superiority of men of women. Even so, victims of violence, if they fight back, are considered to be lying, defaming, and just looking for sensation. If you don't obey the order of a man or your husband, you are said to be disobedient and violate religious order. Of course, there is still a lot of irony that is still found in around us. Double burden. Usually this often happens in the household. Women who have careers outside have to take care of domestic affairs as well without anyone help. The division of labor without an agreement like this is still often addressed to women as victims. Instead of helping each other, there are also men or husbands who do not help with their own household matter. Well, then men may not work much and just relax. So 5 is marginalization. The process or treatment of marginalizing a person, especially because of gender differences, still occurs, like of understanding of sexuality. So then, especially in the reproductive system, is often the main target. For example, when a female factory worker becomes pregnant or gives birth, if she is not allowed to work, she can be threatened with a pay cut or even termination of employment. Or there is still an assumption that profession that is carried out by women is more suitable for those who hold low and not too high position. The reason for this view is that men will become excluded and feel humiliated as well, whereas the root of the problem that is wrong is the cause of the strong patriarchal culture. If we already know that five gender injustice, then we should fight for our rights again. Both women and men, we are all equal. We are all part of human being and citizen of Indonesia. So it is fitting for us to get our rights and as Indonesian people and citizen. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.